Alright, so I know I'm supposed to be on break right now, and I also know that I look like shit, but earlier this week, the UK blocked the Activision Blizzard deal, and I have some very interesting thoughts, so let's talk about it. So yeah, as I said, earlier this week, the UK Competition and Markets Authority has officially blocked, I say officially, but apparently they're gonna be going at it again eventually, but has technically officially blocked the Activision Blizzard deal, the $69 billion nice Activision Blizzard deal that Xbox is trying to make to buy Activision Blizzard. And let me make this clear, I also think it's funny that I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt right now. I realized that after I started recording, but I want to make this clear, I'm not an Xbox guy, okay, but this needs to be done, and I will explain why. Number one, Activision Blizzard's reputation right now, not looking very good, especially after all of the stuff with Bobby Kotick knowing about like sexual harassment going on and not doing anything about it. That needs to be fixed. And number two, if that's the case, who else is gonna buy it? The only one I can think of that could actually buy it, or that would actually buy it, is like Embracer Group or something. Who else is gonna freaking buy if it needs to happen? And plus their stock is down, so like it's not really doing well as a company either, like financially. So I mean, it kind of needs to happen, and who else is gonna buy it? I don't want to get into the freaking like Xbox versus PlayStation. I don't care. I don't even play Xbox. Xbox is my least favorite out of the three, but this deal needs to go through. So let me back up a little bit and explain why this deal was actually blocked in the first place. Apparently there's concerns, like it says here, quote, over Microsoft's ability to dominate the emerging cloud gaming market with exclusives like Call of Duty. Yes, Xbox has cloud, but I don't really think that that's a reason to be afraid of this deal going through. I don't think cloud's really gonna even be a thing, like mainstream, for at least 10 to 15 years, and I'd say 15 on, 15 on the more likely side. That's just because of it in general, though. I don't think that's Microsoft isn't the only one there. I feel like they're acting like Microsoft's the only one pushing cloud gaming. They're not. And if Sony's not gonna do it, Xbox has the right to do it. And I get like they own Call of Duty now. Technically they would own Call of Duty, but number one, they've stated multiple times, and yes, I do believe them. Everybody's like, oh, you actually believe that? Yes, I do believe them, that they would not make Xbox or Call of Duty exclusive to Xbox. Not only because they've signed a 10-year deal with Nintendo, but also because they've admitted that most of the revenue of Call of Duty comes from PlayStation. So why would they get rid of that? They're not going to make that exclusive. Another thing too, they weren't even really worried about COD in the first place. You know what's bigger? You want to know what's bigger than COD? Candy Crush. Candy Crush would be included in this deal and is worth more than Call of Duty. Nobody's batting an eye at that. Nobody freaking cares about that. All they care about is Call of Duty. And I get it. Call of Duty is massive, right? But they're not making it exclusive. They stated multiple times, like I said, yes, I do freaking believe it. There's no way that they would drop the billions of dollars that they would make off of the PlayStation versions for Call of Duty to have it exclusive, at least. Okay, let's get that out of the way. I have a lot I want to say. Like I said, I don't like Xbox, but this deal needs to go through. Ooh, damn. Okay. Another thing too, Sony has been acting like the victim in this entire situation. They've claimed that, that they're gonna, number one, that they're gonna make it exclusive. Number two, that it's gonna ruin, what have they said? They've said that they just want to block the merger. That whole freaking statement, we don't care about Call of Duty, all we want to do is block your merger. How petty is that, bro? Like, you said that in court and nobody's gonna take that into account. They're in this hizzy about Call of Duty, and then this statement comes out about they don't even care about it. They just want to block the merger. And then you're gonna act like the victim. Also, regarding acting like the victim, PlayStation is like up 1,500% in sales right now. Xbox is not doing very well. PlayStation can probably do without Call of Duty anyway, to be honest with you. And they're like, oh, we couldn't make our own Call of Duty. You could. You have the best exclusives out of all all three of the major companies, Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation has the best. I'm not gonna fight anybody on that. So they could totally make one. Not that they should. I think Call of Duty will stay. But if they needed to, they could totally make a Call of Duty equivalent. They have the funds. They definitely have the funds. And they have the talent. I feel like they're also acting like they don't ever buy any companies when they have bought, hold on, let me pull up the Wikipedia page for you guys. Alrighty, we're gonna go from most recent to back in like 2021, I think, when they bought Housemarque. So first up, April 2023, just a few days ago, actually, about a week ago at the time I'm recording this, they bought Firewalk. You know, some smaller studios. And then July of last year, the big one, they bought Bungie. Haven Studios, a couple smaller ones as well. Bluepoint Games, let's see, Firesprite, Crunchyroll, guys. You know how big Crunchyroll is? Nixxes, Housemarque, and they've bought Insomniac, obviously, in 2019. They own that now as well. Funimation, I did not know they even owned that. But those are some pretty massive acquisitions. I'm also not going to disregard the fact that Xbox bought Bethesda like 2 years ago. That did happen, and that was another big acquisition. But PlayStation, no matter the size of them, they have their fair share, and Bungie would probably be the biggest one on this list. That is a massive... Okay, 3.7 billion. That's actually not that much. Regardless, who else has the funds for $69 billion worth of the company? If that's what it's worth, somebody has to buy it. Somebody is going to own Call of Duty other than Activision now. Like, it has to happen at some point, right? What's going to happen then? That's not even mentioning the fact that multiple times they have gone to PlayStation to sign deals, and PlayStation has declined the freaking deal. They have given them the contract for 10 plus years, and they didn't want to do it. And by the way, 10 plus years, it would obviously be, you know, there has to be some amount of time on a contract. So at the end of that 10 years, obviously there would most likely be a re-signing of that contract. But regardless, they haven't signed anything. Nintendo has signed one, like I mentioned earlier with them, under the contingency, I believe, that this goes through. Does this not go through? Nintendo now does not have access to stuff like Call of Duty. Another thing I want to mention too, they mentioned that, I don't know where it is, but I did see that they were talking about how, oh, technically it wouldn't run on the Switch. First of all, you could make COD run on the Switch somehow. It may not be the best, but it would run. Number two, they never said it had to run on the Switch. It just said Nintendo consoles in general. We know something's coming from Nintendo in like a year, probably tops. Like, they're gonna have a more powerful console very soon. Nobody said just the Switch. People have been throwing that out there also. Like, I'm so sick and tired of like people trying to like crush Xbox and like prey on their downfall pretty much. Why? Like, there's nothing wrong with this deal. Somebody has to freaking buy them, bro. It's a lot of money, yeah, don't get me wrong, and that Call of Duty is a massive franchise. But like I said, whoever buys them is gonna own Call of Duty anyway. Why are they scared about freaking cloud gaming? Like, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. That's also not even mentioning the fact that half of the people in court right now against Xbox don't even know about games or the entire industry as a whole. It's like the freaking Mario movie critics. You don't know shit. You don't know what you're talking about. How are you gonna make a decision on this? Like, that's not even fair. That's literally not even fair. I don't know. Xbox has been pouring billions of dollars into this, and I believe if they don't buy them, they still own Activision like $4 billion, and this whole thing up to now has already cost them a lot of money in court and stuff. I don't know what's gonna happen, guys, but something needs to happen. This needs to go through. I heard somebody say that it could be like another 2 to 3 years until this is official, which absolutely blows my mind at this point. I really thought this was going to go through. So when that statement came out 2 days ago or 3 days ago about how it's getting blocked by the CMA, that surprised me a lot. So yeah, they will be appealing the deal, as you guys can. I did not mean to play that. As you guys can see here, Microsoft will be appealing the deal at some point. 2 to 3 years is what we could be looking at right now. A great quote right here as well. We've already signed contracts to make Activision Blizzard's most popular games available on 150 more devices. 150 million more. I don't know why I said 150. 150 million more devices. Let that sink in. I understand that they would own a lot. That doesn't mean it would all be exclusive. Some of it might be. But at this point, Xbox needs exclusives anyway. Like, Xbox has no exclusives. You're not going to tell me Sony doesn't have exclusives. They're making plenty of money off of their exclusives right now. Let me name just a few for you. The Last of Us, okay? That's one of their biggest, okay? Uncharted, Spider-Man, the Wolverine game coming out soon. Let's see, God of War, Ratchet and Clank is another one, Horizon Forbidden, well, Horizon, I guess. Ghost of Tsushima, you know, Sackboy. You're not gonna tell me that PlayStation does not have fucking exclusives. It's not gonna happen. Xbox exclusives are like non-existent at this point. It's kind of bad. Let them have some exclusives. I don't freaking care. Let them have it. If they're like smaller games that are owned by Activision that like really wouldn't affect either or, let them have it and let them expand upon them. You know what I mean? Like, even if they're old IPs from Activision that nobody's really talking about anymore, let them own it and let them revive it. Like, that's a great thing that they could do, and then make it exclusive. I don't even think that that's crazy to say. Is that crazy for me to say? I don't freaking know. I am just so fed up with this right now. I want it to be over, and I just want this deal to go through. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know if I'm going crazy, but I needed to get that off my chest. I had no script today, so I'm sorry if that was like all over the place, but this shit is pissing me off. I'm not biased at all. I'm literally wearing a PlayStation shirt. I've never owned an Xbox in my life, but with Activision's stock right now, with Activision's reputation right now, this needs to go through. They've stated multiple times that they're not making Call of Duty exclusive. That's not even their most money-making franchise, because Candy Crush is above Call of Duty. Again, let that sink in for a second, guys. Candy Crush. People are focusing on COD, and like I said, they've stated multiple times, they're getting COD on more consoles. They're getting COD on Nintendo consoles. Whatever the next Nintendo is going to be, they're going to have it on there, assuming this goes through. But if it doesn't, oh well, guess we're not going to get it. Like, regardless of if the deal goes through or not, Xbox is going to push cloud gaming. Let them push cloud gaming if they want to. Sony's not going to do it. Oh well, that's Sony's fault. If they don't want to do it, let them make that decision. I don't think it's going to affect anything. Many people are against cloud gaming right now. It's not, the world's not ready for that. But if Microsoft wants to pour billions of dollars into it, let them pour billions of dollars into it and get nothing back. That's not their fault. Like, that's not, it just does not make sense to me why this deal will not go through. I don't know. Like I said, let me know if I'm like wrong in the comments, but like this is getting old. We might have a few years looking at this. I had no script, so again, I apologize, but thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.